Hello, one and all. This is Luckless LoveLocks, and welcome to This is the President, a political thriller management game where we get to play as the President of the United States.
Bob. How much time do I have left?
Sir, I was ordered not to speak to you.
Son, I'm not asking you to die in a gunfight. I just want to know how much time I have left.
10 minutes.
I'll never finish all this in 10 minutes. Think you could help? Is it fair that your fellas are in the cafeteria right now, devouring their meatballs while you're stuck here staring at me? You were ordered not to talk to me, but they didn't say anything about lobster, right?
I like lobster, but it's so much work, isn't
sit
it?
yourself down, right there. You can eat in silence. Otherwise, I'll just have to throw half of it out.
What? If anyone found out, I'd be fired.
Don't worry. I don't give up my friends. Unlike some people.
So this must be the person in the article that we saw at the beginning there. President, I think it said, threw him under the bus.
Your name is Bob, I gather. I haven't seen you here before. You a rookie? I didn't know they were taking 16-year-olds as guards.
I'm 20.
Ah, 20. Sorry. Mysterious age, isn't it? You can't legally buy yourself a beer after you've had a tough shift, but you can elect the president.
I don't drink, sir. Half my family are drunks. I know how dangerous it is.
Oh, alcohol is dangerous. But isn't the right to vote even more dangerous? If you were drinking like a fool, you'd only be harming yourself. But if you're voting like a fool, you're putting the entire nation at risk.
Yeah, you can harm other
I'm
people
not
if you drink too
voting
much,
like
too.
a fool. I voted for a man who would send all the shameless, corrupt officials to jail.
Well, one of those shameless, corrupt officials is now kindly treating you to lobster. Delicious, isn't it?
Sir, I didn't know, sir. I don't have anything against you personally, sir. I'm just glad the new president will finally fix the Constitution, that's all.
Uh-oh.
You do know that the president can't change the Constitution, right?
Well, why can't he? He's president.
President, yes, not king.
But presidents can sign decrees and all that.
Only Congress can propose and pass amendments. If you don't believe me, just Google it.
Can't the president do whatever he wants? Why do we need presidents and all then? Aunt Ruta explained everything to me. She's watching this guy.
Oh, yikes.
Oh.
If it's any consolation, son, you and your Aunt Ruth weren't the only people fooled by our new president. I myself once trusted him. And look where it got me.
This is the vice president, I
This is a
guess.
man who has always abused the trust of his friends, and now he has abused the trust of millions of Americans, people just like you.
So I really did vote like a fool, sir.
There's no mistake that cannot be corrected, Bob. Not in this country. We'll fix it, you and me, together. I can stop him. I know his weak points. I just need to get out of here as quickly as possible. Will you help me?
Well, now you're just falling for another scam.
You're not planning an escape, are you, sir?
No. What are you saying? I have a great many friends who will help me walk right out through the front door, all perfectly legal. It's just that I'm a little cut off from the world right now, you see. But if you could just bring me a phone, I could set everything in place from right here in this cell.
My phone?
Not yours, of course. We wouldn't want to risk that. Any other one.
Won't I get fired for this?
Bob, when they find out that you helped me, you'll get an award. You're an observant guy. You can see what's going on. This is a matter of national security.
It's working.
Sir, He might not be an honest man, but he's still the president, right? The most powerful man in the world. Isn't that what they say? Isn't it just too dangerous to go against him?
Now, don't you trouble yourself about that, Bob. My 10 minutes are up. The president has a much longer term waiting for him.
Uh-oh. Vice President-elect. Antonio Estaba. My friends, today we have shown that the American dream is still alive. So this is November 2020. We got $2 million and an approval rating of 44.4%, I guess. I'm the son of immigrants who rose to become vice president. I'm living proof. We've shown that the soulless corporations and Washington crooks don't get to decide things. I assume this is who we're playing as. The people of the United States have spoken. I'm proud of you, America, and I'm proud of our new commander-in-chief, or this is our vice president, who will give everything he's got for the good of America. Let me introduce Mr. President-elect. Do we get to choose our name or anything? I'm so curious to see how the management part of this is going to play out. Oh, neat. We get to put together a speech. We don't want to just speak to New York. We want to speak to the whole world. Well, the whole world being America, which really is the whole world to a lot of Americans. My fellow Americans. Start standard. This victory is your victory. I still can't believe we won. This victory is your victory. The ruling, I guess we're like, from the sounds of the prison guard, we're rebelling against the establishment, right? The ruling class have nearly turned our country into a prison. Oh, that's a downer. Or we get to pick something to follow up with it. Ooh, okay. A prison where ordinary Americans do all the work and the establishment takes all they earn. We're going back to a previous line. The time has come to take our country back. This is stressful. I'm not even really doing this. Offering a rehab course for anyone in America. What is this? During my term, Amendment 28 to the Constitution will be passed. In 4 years, I will achieve more than other presidents achieved in 8. We won't make any concrete promises. This is very important. Get people excited, but don't make any concrete promises. Be careful with your promises. If you don't keep your word, the people won't like it. Sounds like we're going to have to manage expectations. I will sign a truly progressive first executive order. Yeah. Open to interpretation. I will transfer all my non-monetary assets into a trust. Okay. No problem. We're going to be living in the White House anyways. I won't make any more promises for now. First, I will fulfill the ones I made. Sure. I want to thank the new vice president, Antonio Estaba. I think I want to thank the entire campaign staff first. My lawyer. First of all, my analyst and campaign strategist, Ollie. He led me to victory. Yeah. Thank President Feist. It's obviously the previous president. So was he... I guess we're going to find out what the situation was. Like, did we run against the opposing party's president incumbent, or was this the outgoing president in our party? I want to thank the new First Lady, my brilliant Ellie. Today, America chose her too. Yes. And I want to find out more about this. That's why I'm choosing it. And I want to thank President Feist. Oh, he took it like a man when his campaign went downhill. Okay, maybe I didn't really want to do this. If he hadn't sold out to the establishment, I'd never have become president. We're following the same through line here. And I want to finally thank the new vice president, Antonio Esteba. If God forbid something happens to me, America will be in good hands. His experience with the FBI has helped me a lot. If God forbid something happens to me, America will be in good hands. That's it for today. I don't know if that's a good final line. Okay, there's more. God bless the United States of America. You've got to say that at the end of a presidential speech. I know my presidential history. Kind of. Ratings bump from 44.4% to 48.5%. Your approval rating goes up when you say and do things the public likes. When you make unpopular decisions or are exposed by the media, your approval rating goes down. Be careful. If your rating goes below 25%, you could lose your position. Okay. In his speech, the newly elected president showed that his victory was no accident. He senses the hopes and dreams of America and indulges them. Although, in this speech, we heard the word I a lot more often than the word we. It will still surely go down in history. Joe Lynn right in the center. It's just some cheesy music. After the victory speech. Antonio Esteba says, wow, that was great, buddy. And you're always such a charmer. Truth is, you almost brought tears to my eyes. Come on. That speech wasn't that good. I can't believe we're actually going to kick the crooks out of the White House. Well, some of them. That's right, Tony. Their days are numbered. 3 months. 3 months and we'll have our revenge. Ellie, the future first lady, says, Tony, we didn't run this campaign so we could get revenge. We did it to amend the Constitution. I don't know if we want to keep... I don't know if we want to get revenge or not. Let's just stick to, like, you know... Even if we do want to get revenge, let's stick to being positive. That's right. Revenge isn't the best motivation, Tony. I don't know how, like, if we could play this as, like, a bad guy or a good guy or whatever. Maybe so, buddy, but you still did take down Feist in your speech. You've got to remember that people don't care what our actual motivation is, as long as we're making their lives better. Ellie says, let's hope we prove you right. Just got word from headquarters that we have urgent business. Antonio says, let's get going. But first, let's open a bottle of vintage champagne that I hid in the office to celebrate our victory. I dig this tune. Ah, that's a shame, buddy. The bottle of champagne is gone. You think we drank it last week when we celebrated my birthday? But don't lose hope, my friend. I just saw Ellie. She wants you in her office. She had a pointer in her hand. Somebody's in for an exciting night. A pointer? Amendment 28. So this is what they were talking about. Ellie says, well, Tony certainly has his head in the clouds. I say let him soar. So long as we don't get carried off ourselves. Can't take our eye off what's important. My rise to power, to take care of ordinary people. You know the truth, my dear. So I don't go to prison. Exactly. At least if I were the one going to prison, I'd have a slight chance of getting out. But you... How many days do you think you'll last in jail? With no bodyguards? We said it 100 times, but I still worry that sometimes you get carried away and forget why we started all this. If at the end of 4 years, we haven't gotten you lifelong immunity, we're dead. Always keep it in mind. So this is the goal of the game, to try to pass this amendment so that we have lifetime immunity. How do I get this immunity? I'll go over it again from the top. It's been a long while since the last time we talked about it. Amendment 28 will enshrine your lifelong immunity in the Constitution. They won't be able to open a case against you. No one can arrest you. You'll be beyond the reach of the police, the FBI, the NSA, even God Almighty. First, we need to get the amendment before Congress. To do this, we'll need powerful allies in both houses. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. I'm a little bit of a political junkie, especially American politics, because they're so insane. I live in Canada, so we're like nothing compared to America. But I do follow the politics. I used to follow it more before, not so much now, but I understand how the government works pretty well. Everyone has a price. There's probably a list. Believe it or not, we've come up with one, but supporting the amendment is too tricky to pin a number on. But I've taken care of it. I found a lobbyist who, for a modest one-time investment, will bring us together with influential congressmen. She's so, like, excited about this. And you think this investment will pay off? My dear, I found a real professional. The investment will be worth every penny. I think we gotta watch out for her, too. Maybe she's setting us up? Our lobbyist's name is Noah. Okay. He looks kind of shady, doesn't he? The sunglasses. He has a lot of connections at the Capitol. When he puts us back into it, he can push any policy through. Remember the recent sweeping tax cuts for the wealthy? Disguised as simplifying the tax code? Noah played a decisive role in that one. The cost for his services is $7 million? A mere trifle for changing the Constitution. We only have 2, so we gotta get some cash. That's one steep trifle, but it doesn't seem we have much choice. Why don't we try to negotiate his price down? Honey, we're not at the flea market. There's no haggling with people like Noah. I'd rather we had a choice, but we have to work with what we have. Okay, so what's next? Noah will introduce us to influential congressmen. However, he himself won't be negotiating with them. That part is up to us. Which brings us to step 2, gain the support of 2/3 of Congress. I think a constitutional amendment also requires like 2/3 of the states to pass it too, right? 2/3? That sounds like a lot. Just totally clueless. The founding fathers weren't fools. They protected the Constitution from people like us by providing a system of checks and balances. Our party currently dominates both chambers, but it still falls short of 2/3. So we should follow standard investment strategy and diversify our options. That means stuffing several baskets at once, including baskets in the other party. After that, the amendment needs to be ratified, right? Is what I was saying. I think it needs to be ratified by the states. Honey, I'm so glad you remember the plan. Getting jazzy. A minimum of 38 states must pass the amendment. I've looked into this. It gave me a headache. There are certain states that are always going to be hostile towards you. Local governors, the mayors, the judges, the legislature. The whole system is against you. So we had to think tactically. Instead of trying to win over the local elite, who will never really support you, you will enlist the support of the people. What's the catch? The procedure for ratifying the amendment is written into the law. The establishment will easily block it unless we change the ratification procedure. And for that, we'll need the Supreme Court. We need the court to side with us so that the voters themselves in each state, ordinary people who are much easier to sway, can vote for the amendment. Otherwise, it's down to the local legislatures, and a lot of them would rather see you burn. At present, the majority of the Supreme Court is against us. We'll need to replace at least one opposing judge with an ally before we can bring the amendment directly to the people. That's the third step of the plan. Okay, but those are lifetime appointments. And how will we remove a judge? I'm working on that, but it's not an easy task. Once appointed, Supreme Court judges serve life terms. To get one of them off the bench will be a major operation. Are you gonna murder a judge? I certainly hope not. Wink, wink. Of course, even once we've dealt with the court, the people still have to vote on the amendment. The campaign for passing this amendment will have to be even stronger than your election campaign. We have a lot of convincing to do, including people in states that are hostile towards you. Keep in mind that without popular support, our amendment could later be repealed. How long did Prohibition last? 13 years? You don't want to lose your immunity and go to jail for your retirement, do you? To achieve the support this amendment needs, we'll need record high approval ratings across the country. According to calculations at headquarters, you'll need an astounding 90% approval rating. That's the final piece of the puzzle. I don't think a president has ever had 90% approval rating, except maybe during like wartime, like World War II. So what do you think of the plan? It doesn't sound very practical. I thought it would be more difficult. Let's get to work. Let's get to work, my dear president. Let's get to work. And we're starting out at 48.5%. Usually presidents, especially lately, start at a high approval rating and then they go down over time. So I don't know how we're going to get it to 90. Here's our lobbyist, Noah. Mr. President, I'm ready to introduce your amendment to a circle of influential congressmen for a modest sum of $7 million. Why is the price so low? I usually ask tens of millions of dollars for my services, even when it comes to a minor change in labor laws. And we speak here of an amendment to the Constitution, no less. But you're lucky. I offer a big discount to newcomers to politics. That's why I told your wife that $7 million is nothing for what you want to pull off. But maybe we weren't the vice president, I don't know. I will be waiting for the payment details until the end of October 2021. And I would advise you not to spend all your money, save at least a couple of million for the negotiations themselves. Or find some incriminating evidence that will force your interlocutors, that's right, I pronounced that right the first time, I think, to defect to your side. So take your time and come when you're ready. However, keep in mind that the time limit cannot be extended. Okay. Save a couple million. You only have a couple million. Or incriminating evidence. Okay, maybe that's a better idea. So first step, 12 months left to pay to get 7 million. How do we do this? New events. First order of business, negotiating position. Okay, I'm not clicking on those. How do I play the game? You may get distracted by the country's problems, but remember that your main goal is to pass Amendment 28. If you forget that, forget what you need to accomplish. Go open the goals tab, okay? Oh yeah, we've got 4 years. Year 1, Congress initiates Amendment 28 hearings. Congress approves Amendment 28 in year 2. Year 3, Supreme Court allows direct voting for Amendment 28. People ratify it. Should be easy. Oh, I am playing on normal. There is 4 difficulties, I think. Easy, normal, hard, and then I can't remember what the other one is. I figured normal would be good, so we could make some progress, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be too easy. Ellie says, darling, I understand the entire procedure of passing an amendment is a bureaucratic nightmare. If you ever forget what needs to be done and what's going to happen next, consult the checklist. That's what I made it for. Yeah, let's put this on paper. That's a good idea. Although, technically, we're not doing anything illegal. We're just trying to do something within the system that only benefits us. Really. Politicians tend to forget their promises. If you need help remembering yours, click on your promises tab. Oh, sign a progressive first executive order. Okay, but that's pretty vague. We have 4 months for that. Your campaign staff has drafted several potential first executive orders, each of which could be described as progressive. Sign whichever one you choose for the end of February. Transfer your non-monetary assets into a trust. The legal department is preparing to transfer your non-monetary assets into another form to prevent any conflicts of interest during your presidency. You can have them transferred to a trust when the time comes. Estaba comes by, says, all politicians make promises, but nobody ever keeps them. Let's show people we're different. Try to fulfill the promises you made during your speech before the end of February. This will make the public trust us, and they'll be more forgiving when it comes to keeping promises later. Next time, we'll have a year at least. The cards in the left column are events you can engage with. Some events aren't available until you fulfill certain conditions, like getting the 7 mil. And we're off. Our rating. Oh, okay, so our rating went up. It was way down in like the less than 15 percenters. Oh yeah, look at that. You start month, oh. Christmas bonus. Monthly budget. All right, first order of business. Find out what your staff has prepared for you. Noah is demanding money to open negotiations with a powerful representative of Congress. If you don't go ahead with this, you'll likely be sent to jail for your retirement. Let's check out what our staff's prepared for us. Buddy. I love that Antonio just calls us buddy. You made a promise to sign a progressive first executive order, and you have to keep it. You're not some jerk like Faced, who says one thing and does another, are you? See that bunch of waste paper on your desk? In fact, it's 5 projects you can consider for your first executive order. Clip prepared them based on the most popular suggestions your supporters made during the campaign. I say without hesitation that they are all truly progressive. So don't be shy. Choose the executive order that suits you best. Declassify Area 51 documents? That sounds awesome. Find a cancer vaccine. Eradicate poverty. Ban online advertising. Colonize Mars. I actually think the American public would be most interested in declassifying Area 51 documents over all the others. But I like to dream big. I'm going to say colonize Mars. Draft first executive order, colonize Mars. If America doesn't lead the way to colonize Mars, someone else will. Plus, government exploration of Mars is the only way to ensure that its resources will go to the people, not to the corporations. With what? How? I don't know if that would work. But the other thing I was thinking is if we can get this approved, people support this, we could take some of the money for us. Can't really make money off of, just releasing documents. With this order, you'll prove that you're looking to the future, but the energy companies won't like it. 63% of Americans support sending astronauts to Mars. 72% of Americans want the U.S. to be a leader in space exploration. 7% of Americans are ready to set off to Mars, never to return to Earth. Let's check them all out. The U.S. government is hiding their documents on UFOs in Area 51. When the inauguration takes place, you will have the power to declassify them. This will show the American people that their new president is dedicated to openness and transparency. However, this order won't be appreciated by the military and other government offices, as some of these documents may contain military secrets. So 68% of Americans believe that the government is hiding information about aliens from them. 33% believe that at least some of the known UFO incidents were in fact real alien encounters. 60% attribute UFO sightings to natural phenomena and chance. We could go with draft first executive order to cure cancer. It's not quite as sexy as, you know, going to Mars, though. But this is the best one. To be honest, if we were a good guy. Despite progress in the early detection and treatment of cancer, hundreds of thousands of Americans die every year from its many different forms. Your predecessors called for cancer funds. You can go further by assembling the best scientists and funding the creation of a great laboratory that will finally discover a universal cancer vaccine. This will communicate to the people that the health of your fellow Americans is your top priority. The pharmaceutical companies won't like this order. Of course they would! They would make so much money from this. More than 600,000 Americans die of cancer every year. 54% of Americans are closely related to someone with cancer. 27% of Americans who are diagnosed with cancer die from it. Jesus. That's freaking sad. Defeat poverty. Among the richest countries in the world, the United States ranks second in terms of poverty. Previous presidents organized campaigns to combat poverty, but they never took the plunge and tried to solve the problem. By taxing the rich and abolishing corporate benefits and sharing the wealth with the regular people, this order will show that you're on the side of the people, but the rich won't like it. 11.8% of Americans are considered poor. 20.8% of African Americans are considered poor. But 1% of the wealthiest Americans own the same amount of wealth as 90% of the nation's population. Final one is ban online advertising. The thing people hate the most is internet advertising, not cancer. They're much more comfortable with advertising in print and on television, where it's clearly regulated. You now have the power to fix the internet by banning all advertising from it. With this order, you will show that you listen to the will of the people, but the tech corporations won't like it. 75% of Americans are annoyed by online advertising. 91% of Americans believe that online advertising has increased over the past few years. 67% are willing to pay to make ads disappear from websites. Okay, that's got a lot of support, though. I think I need to go with ban online advertising. If you look at it, 63% of Americans support this. 72 as well. 75 and 91. And 67. I want to colonize Mars.